Space stock is just unstoppable right now. I mean, I got so many messages that you are so wealthy now. And welcome to another episode, a special Thanksgiving episode of Virgin Galactic Friday. So let's roll into the intro. Those are the topics today. So we will talk about the space performance, then we will talk about the stock chart of space and what happened actually on Wednesday that make the stock bounce 10% up. There was a specific technical thing that actually was responsible for that. Then we will talk about the space marketing. We will talk about the next flight window, which will be very important for the further gains of space. And finally, we will talk about the year-end rally. Guys, if you appreciate this Friday's update every Friday since months now for space stock, then smash this like button and also the subscription button, including the little bell, the little bell, then you get notified for every new video. So let's have a look into space stock. It's just having an unbelievable run, guys. Okay, I mean, for 1 month now we went from 1865 to 27.10. okay, this is the Thanksgiving stock market off-day price as of this recording. And even if you see the after hours, the stock wanted to go to 27.77. So it's very likely that we now see a run. This has something to do that we discussed in the stock recording. And if you are looking into the space stock, it's just this incredible ride. It was and will stay volatile, guys. I'm telling you that, okay? So we saw a similar ride here in July, though we passed that already. Then a similar ride back in October, which was not that high like in July, but definitely also from 17, 18 to 23. And then, the recent run seems to be a little more serious, guys, okay? So that's absolutely fantastic. And yeah, I'm super much exciting for the next couple of days with the new test flight coming up and more other things to come. We will talk here in this vlog also about the space marketing, which I think will be a huge part of the further success of space. But first, let's really dive into what happened to space stock, because the 10% gain on Wednesday was something that we a little bit predicted here on this channel. So here we go. Let's have a look into the chart of space. And also today, even when it's a low trading volume day, just half of the day will be open because it's still the Thanksgiving weekend, so people will enjoy with their families and as much as they can, obviously, in this lockdown times. However, we have seen, this is amazing here. What we see right now, as you can see here, more than 4% up today. We actually exited this upper level, which is actually a very bullish sign. It would be important now from a technical perspective that they are closing above this trend line here, okay? Because then, we said this in our last stream that it could be that we are bouncing off and bouncing back into this area. But actually what's happening is that we exited it, and now we are in the full run on the next big resistance, which would be the last all-time high, okay, which was in February. Here we go. Actually, no, there's two resistance. Okay, here's another one, which would be then the all-time high. So here, these two resistance lines, the space stock need to go through. So now it looks like we have really much room to run, and with a good market, with a great news from further, upcoming test flight information, then we can really maybe reach 35. So from a technical perspective, we can really go here very far right now. I'm just wondering, at some point, obviously, we will see a little bit of an overbought situation. So we saw that, for example, here, which the RSI was at 64 approximately, 64, 66. This was back in October. Then the next type was here, where we, couldn't break through the resistance. So here we had it on end of 22nd of July, which the RSI indicated about 73. And at the all-time high, we had an RSI above 90 here. Same just a little bit later. So as you can see, this is important. So we are currently now at somewhere at 70 something, okay, 75, 76. So still not those levels like in February. That's why I'm thinking, we are still okay to go. Though I would love to see a little bit of steam coming out, otherwise it's just absolutely crazy. Yeah, anyway, so this is the situation at the stock chart. Let's move on. I mean, scrolling through the Instagram page of Virgin Galactic, you seeing, they are looking for interns. They're having these beautiful videos with the CJ Sturkov, the test pilot of the Spaceship Two, then an advertising movie of becoming an astronaut with kids and so on, then the spaceport obviously. And I was thinking how great it is and how much important it will be for the future of space. So first of all, think about of space as this mystical, very unrealistic goal where we all will be in just a couple of years. Okay, space, it's a very developing industry and area where is the futures of humans in the end of the day. So more and more of that will be known in and interpreted into the space marketing, which will be just incredible to seeing these pictures with those clients, with those flights into the low orbit. And on the other side, I think that this will just create more demand and more awareness for what Virgin Galactic is actually doing. Virgin Galactic is a very, very, very unknown company, guys, okay? Every time I spoke with someone, I tell them, have you heard about Virgin Galactic? And they said, no, what they are doing? Yes, space tourism. And they said, well, does this really work? Is it not something that is just realistic in 10 years? And this is exactly the edge that we are having. And the edge that we as early space investors having will be catched up by the space marketing that we will see Virgin Galactic is doing, and more people will hear about it, more people want to be invested, more people will bring the stock price up, and then we will see short squeezes as well, because I think it's such a new topic for so many people that they will not understand it and they will short it. The next test flight window is a very interesting conversation to have, because not only it's the main driver for the growth of space, and we were seeing how the stock could react if this gets delayed. Okay, we had a 10% slump into the stock price when it was announced that there's the lockdown by New Mexico, which led to a huge, outflow out of space stock. However, so if we are talking about the space flight timeline, you have to consider a couple of things. How far they are with the preparation of the spaceship, Secondly, how is the working attitude by the governments, FAA for example? Then how it is with the lockdown in New Mexico. And finally, what are the options? Because, there's the scheduling obviously that, needs to be adjusted and, according to weather, to other flights and so on. So let's start with the first point. I think it's now the question how much they can do while they are in lockdown. And there's some information or interpretation of the last tweet that they did when they announced this, because they said something like that they will not put, everything on hold, but it's just some of the parts, it's, under lockdown and it's socially distanced and it's, not possible to do this. So what will happen is that there was some speculation that still there might be people working at the area and at the work, but they just cannot do the space flight. So what this implement is that we are seeing a team that is still working on the essential hardware, software side on the spaceship, and we are just waiting on the scheduling. So once the lockdown is opening, which would be the 30th of November, then we would see maybe a week after already the space flight. This is what I would love to see, maybe also mid of December, but this all depends now on mostly the scheduling and the authorities to approve a new date. I talked about the stock market rally or end year rally in this crazy year of 2020 for a very long time. But why it should apply also to space? There's a couple of factors that you need to consider. The upcoming space flight, more information on the second test flight, which will be, in my personal opinion, the rehearsal flight, and then the Richard Branson flight. Maybe we will see a little bit more information about that as well. So there is just 40, 39, 38 days left in this year, and with that said, this is one of the most craziest years on the stock market I have ever seen. I mean, just alone for space, how many attempts we had to break out through 22, 24, and I wanted actually to go in at 14, but I a little bit forerun that because it went to 15, and I'm very happy I did this because the price didn't went to 14, it stayed at 15 and then went up, and then we had always this up and downs. So you can see here that there's always forerunners for your lovely scenario, where you want to buy the stock, and you never can time the market. So since then I obviously added more and more space stocks, and my average is now somewhere around 17, 18 maybe, and I'm still not close to the position size where I want to be. And I'm still will add every month to this position, obviously, and I think the year market rally would just bring a little bit more attention. I don't know how strong the price will stay, okay? There's a lot of option trading towards the end of the year. A lot of option traders thinking that the price will reach 28, right, in December. So I don't know if we will see a little bit of profit taking once we reach, maybe a new high, like $30 per share, but this should be more clear in the next couple of weeks. I definitely holding, and I would be loving a pullback. Even though I don't think so, it's a high probability that we're going very low back, but I would love to have just more and more Virgin Galactic stocks.